So in my 20s, I really struggled with one feeling I hated more than anything. And it was the feeling of feeling lost in life. I hated feeling that time was going by and I felt no closer to my purpose or passion, no closer to a meaningful life, and no closer to a life I actually even wanted to live that much. You literally work 40 hours a week to exist on a piece of land in an apartment you didn't even really want to live in that much. It didn't make much sense to me at all. But since then, as a older and ideally wiser man these days, there's something I've learned about why people feel lost in life. And I think it's really important to figure it out now, whatever age you're watching this, because as you get older, people don't magically figure out life unless they do the work. So let's jump in, and I want to share some big revelations about why you feel lost and what to do about it. What's up guys? Alex Hine over at Modern Health Monk. Let's jump in here. So there's someone whose work I really appreciate in this domain, and her name is Martha Beck. And Martha Beck came up with a series of terms that she calls the social self and the essential self. And she uses this kind of nomenclature or language to describe why do people get in lives where they don't feel like they're themselves versus what are the people doing that do feel like themselves and do feel like they're on the right track. She calls the social self basically like the people-pleasing self. It's like the person that goes to medical school even though they really don't want to be in medicine because mommy and daddy are doctors, and if you want to be a successful immigrant, that's just what you do. But like deep down, you're not happy and you constantly complain about the job. And then you have the essential self. The essential self is like your gut intuitive real you, like the artist or the person who really does love medicine and would want to be in that field. The YouTuber, the author, the painter, the musician. And so what happens is where things get complex is that all of us have an essential self that deep down knows they want to be doing a certain thing day to day. But then there's the pressure from society, the pressure from our parents, the pressure to earn money and provide. All of this pressure can steal a bit of your essential self and push it towards the social self, where you push yourself to do things you don't want to do because you feel like you need to do them. And in my opinion, this is the single greatest reason people feel lost, because they are not listening to their own gut instincts and their own intuition. They are living their life for other people because of the way it looks, because of the social pressure, because we are not brave enough, because we have a hard time doing this. And if you can think, what does my essential self want and what is my social self doing? Right there, you have a big insight for why you feel lost in life. You feel lost because you're listening to everyone else about how to live your life besides yourself. You. Hopefully this video is not designed to be prescriptive, but is designed to awaken that feeling again. Something I've learned as I've gotten older is that intuition and your gut instincts point the way, the path to go down, but work is what makes it happen. You know, when I was in my early 20s and I bought that one-way ticket to China to become a monk and a kung fu master and all this wannabe holy man stuff, I booked that ticket on not a whim, but a gut feeling. Your instincts point the right path to go down. And there's a reason why your instincts are very, very important. Number one, your instincts are designed to lead you to the life you want to be living. My instinct said, hey, you maybe want to become a monk or like a martial artist as your professional life calling. You should go do this now because this will open or close doors that will serve you for the rest of your life. And I had this amazing experience living in China. I studied with traditional martial artists out in the park in Beijing, winter in the cold. I got the crap kicked out of me. I almost got knocked unconscious, almost had broken wrists. I lived this authentic old school Chinese experience. And while I didn't become a monk or a kung fu master, when I came back, I went to a doctoral level medical program to be a doctor of acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine. Doesn't that look a lot like fate, looking back? I had no clue that that was going to happen because I was 29 when I went back to this medical training. And if you don't know, I have another channel on this and a whole medical practice in LA. If you want to come see me, come hang out, let me know. But it was my gut instincts, my essential self that pointed that direction. And if you don't trust your gut feelings, because you over-rationalize them. Oh, who am I to write a book, become a YouTuber, buy a one-way ticket to China? Are you nuts? This is what the logical brain tells you, but it's talking you out of the exact thing that is trying to guide you to your purpose. So your essential self is subtle. It comes in whispers. It comes in that, wouldn't that be awesome if I did that? It comes in a very soft voice. So it is easily drowned out by the noise of society and friends and family and parents. But the number one thing you can do to awaken that is just listen to it and just take its advice. If it says moving to LA is gonna be risky, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be financially tough, but I feel like it would be an awesome adventure. I feel like it might be the thing that blows up my creative dreams. You should do that. Doesn't mean you're not gonna work. You may have to take 2 jobs to make it work in LA, to make your dreams happen. What do you think I was doing building this channel? I worked a 40-hour-a-week job and worked another 3 hours every night. I wrote books with full-time jobs, right? I don't have a mysterious sugar daddy benefactor, although maybe I should at this point. In all seriousness, being on the right path is the most important. And the way you find the right path is by trusting those gut instincts, your intuition, the small voice, the quiet voice. I found that by keeping a little journal, I call it the intuitive journal technique, is the most effective way to do that, because the more you train the faculty, the more you recognize it when it happens. It's a lot like if you're in a relationship and your spouse or significant other tells you you need to work on your listening skills, and then you consciously decide to listen more, you listen more, right? So the more you try to listen to the subtle faculty, like, oh, I would really love to write a book, but then all the chatter comes out. Who am I? I'm not famous. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a whatever. Why should I write a book or become a YouTuber? Why would anyone listen to me? That's all mental BS. The gut instinct is you should do this. View it as a direct message from the divine if you have to, but that is a direct calling card from your life purpose trying to tell you, you go down this path, you're gonna be really friggin' happy. Now, the intuitive journal technique we'll jump into, but it's one of my 5 favorite exercises. And the last year I started doing 5 brand new journaling exercises that have totally changed the direction of my life. And I've actually put them together in a link below this video here. You'll see the link right below. And it's just a download to get these 5 journaling exercises you can start doing today. I've been playing with new exercises in the last 18 months or so. And these are ones that are helping me think differently. And if you think differently, you'll ultimately choose different actions that will change your life. So download that and check it out. And now let's jump in and I want to show you the intuitive journal exercise because it's honestly the easiest way to awaken that faculty again. The essence of this exercise is really important, which is you're basically training yourself to listen to what I would call like the small voice. And you see this a lot in stories of like the greats, like Oprah or Steven Spielberg, Paulo Coelho. Lots of iconic people through history talk about this. Robert Frost, lots of poets, creatives. So basically, what I do every day is I train myself to think like, what are my hunches? What are my instincts? What are my goosebumps, right? What's making me feel goosebumps? What makes me feel excited, lit up? What makes me think like, wouldn't that be cool? These are all signatures of intuition, right? Mostly what you see is elevated emotions, right? If you imagine the lowest level of emotion would be like depression, or even like maybe fear is a little bit higher up. And the highest level is passion. These are like the David Hawkins vibrational spectrum. The higher the level of emotion, the more it is connected to intuition and your gut instincts. And the more it will lead you on the right path for the kind of life you want. So sometimes you feel passion, excitement, but simultaneously fear. Like that's like when you ask out that pretty girl, you ask out that attractive guy. You feel excitement because you're attracted to them, but also fear. This is actually a shortcut. Doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. This is the fastest path to evolution. So excitement could say, you know what? I really want to go to, let's say, architecture school, right? Or I really want to take a trip to Mexico to go to like the land of my ancestors. Or I really want to do ayahuasca, right? I don't know if that's illegal. Am I allowed to say that? Something here, may be part of your healing journey, your life path. You will never know what role it plays in your life, but when you train yourself to think of these small things, that small voice, the instincts, the goosebumps, that what lights you up, wouldn't that be awesome? These are signatures of your intuition, right? That is the incoming message. There's one final quote I'll leave you with here. I would just do this every single day. What are these things? Train yourself. For me, it's a new trip. It was a hobby picking up bachata and salsa. Sometimes it says don't date, take 6 months alone. Sometimes it says it's time to push yourself uncomfortable to be dating. But the signatures here, I'll leave you with one final quote. A Christian mystic, Florence Shinn, she says, intuition is God telephoning you, and prayer is you telephoning God. I love this quote. I believe it to be true. If you can follow your instincts more in life, you practice this exercise, you'll never be on the wrong path again. So keep playing with the intuitive journaling exercise, guys, and then download that free guide just on the 5 journaling exercises I used last year, my new 5 favorite ones. They're pretty helpful. And then before you go, I have a video right up here that's very related to finding your life purpose, figuring out what to do, and really just building an incredible and awesome life. So check it out there and leave me a comment down there below.